ଲୋକସଭାର କଂଗ୍ରେସ ବିରୋଧୀ ଦଳ ନେତା ଶ୍ରୀ ଅଧୀର ରଞ୍ଜନ ଚୌଧୁରୀ ଅଖିଳ ଭାରତୀୟ କଂଗ୍ରେସ କମିଟି ସଭାପତି ମଲ୍ଲିକାର୍ଜୁନ ଖଡଗେଙ୍କ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶ କ୍ରମେ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ବାହାନଗା ରେଳ ଦୁର୍ଘଟଣାସ୍ଥଳ ପରିଦର୍ଶନ କରିବା ସହ ସେଠାରେ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟରତ ରେଳବାଇ ବିଭାଗର କର୍ମଚାରୀମାନଙ୍କ ସହ ପୁନରୁଦ୍ଧାର କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ସମ୍ପର୍କରେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିଥିଲେ। ଏହାପରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଚୌଧୁରୀ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଜିଲ୍ଲା ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଚିକିତ୍ସାଳୟରେ ଚିକିତ୍ସିତ ହେଉଥିବା ଆହତ ଯାତ୍ରୀମାନଙ୍କୁ ସାକ୍ଷାତ କରିଥିଲେ। ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯୋଗାଇ ଦିଆଯାଉଥିବା ଚିକିତ୍ସା ସମ୍ପର୍କରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ପଚାରି ବୁଝିଥିଲେ। ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଚିକିତ୍ସାଳୟରୁ ସିଧା ଯାଇ ପହଞ୍ଚିଥିଲେ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ନସି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟାଳୟରେ, ଯେଉଁଠାରେ ମୃତ ଯାତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର ଶବ ରଖାଯାଉଛି। ସେଠାରେ ମୃତକମାନଙ୍କର ପରିବାରବର୍ଗଙ୍କ ସହ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିବା ସହିତ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସମବେଦନା ଜଣାଇଥିଲେ। ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଲକି ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ହୋଟେଲ ପରିସରରେ ଆୟୋଜିତ ସାମ୍ବାଦିକ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀରେ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ପ୍ରଭାରୀ ଡକ୍ଟର ଚେଲା କୁମାର, ପିସିସି ସଭାପତି ଶ୍ରୀଯୁକ୍ତ ଶରତ ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକ, ପୂର୍ବତନ ପିସିସି ସଭାପତି ଜୟଦେବ ଜେନା, ପ୍ରସାଦ ହରିଚନ୍ଦନ ଓ ପ୍ରଚାର କମିଟି ଅଧ୍ୟକ୍ଷ ବିଜୟ ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକ ପ୍ରମୁଖଙ୍କ ଉପସ୍ଥିତିରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଚୌଧୁରୀ ରେଳ ଦୁର୍ଘଟଣାରେ ମୃତ ଯାତ୍ରୀଙ୍କ ପରିବାରକୁ ସମବେଦନା ଜଣାଇବା ସହିତ ଆହତ ଯାତ୍ରୀମାନଙ୍କର ଆଶୁ ଆରୋଗ୍ୟ କାମନା କରିଥିଲେ। ଯେଉଁ ଡାକ୍ତରଖାନାରେ ଆହତମାନେ ଚିକିତ୍ସିତ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଠାରେ ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ ଏବଂ ଉନ୍ନତ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟସେବାର ଭିତ୍ତିଭୂମି ଅଭାବ ରହିଛି ବୋଲି ସେ ଅଭିଯୋଗ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଡାକ୍ତରଖାନାରେ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ହେଉଥିବା ଡାକ୍ତର ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଷ୍ଟାଫଙ୍କର ଅଭାବ ରହିଛି, ଯାହାଫଳରେ ଆହତମାନେ ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ ଚିକିତ୍ସାରୁ ବଞ୍ଚିତ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ବୋଲି ସେ ପ୍ରକାଶ କରିଥିଲେ। ଅନ୍ୟପକ୍ଷରେ ଯେଉଁ ସ୍ଥାନରେ ଶବ ରଖାଯାଇଛି ସେଠାକାର ପରିସ୍ଥିତି ଅମାନବୀୟ, ଦୁଃଖଦାୟକ ଏବଂ ବିରକ୍ତିକର ବୋଲି ସେ କହିଥିଲେ। ସାଧାରଣ ଯାତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର ଜୀବନ ନିରାପତ୍ତାକୁ ବିଚାରକୁ ନେଇ ଏଭଳି ଦୁର୍ଘଟଣାର କାରଣର ନିରାକରଣ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ରହିଛି ବୋଲି ସେ କହିଥିଲେ। ଆଧୁନିକରଣର ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ପ୍ରତିଶ୍ରୁତି ଦିଆଯାଉଛି, ମାତ୍ର କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ କ'ଣ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି ରହିଛି ତାହାର ତର୍ଜମା ହେଉନାହିଁ ବୋଲି ସେ ସାମ୍ବାଦିକ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀରେ ପ୍ରକାଶ କରିଥିଲେ। ସରକାରଙ୍କର ରେଳବାଇ ନିରାପତ୍ତାକୁ ଏଡ଼େଇ ଦେଇ ଏହାର କାରଣ ଘରୋଇକରଣ ଉପରେ ପ୍ରାଧାନ୍ୟ ଦେଉଛନ୍ତି ବୋଲି ସେ ଅଭିଯୋଗ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ରେଳବାଇର ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ ପରିଚାଳନା, ରକ୍ଷଣାବେକ୍ଷଣ ଏବଂ ମରାମତି ପ୍ରଭୃତି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଠିକ୍ ଭାବରେ କରାଯିବାର ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ରହିଛି ବୋଲି ସେ ପ୍ରକାଶ କରିଥିଲେ। ତେବେ ସାମ୍ବାଦିକ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀରେ ମୋଟାମୋଟି ଭାବେ କ'ଣ ପ୍ରକାଶ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଅଧୀର ରଞ୍ଜନ ଚୌଧୁରୀ, ଆସନ୍ତୁ ଶୁଣିବା।
ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ এই যে মর্মান্তিক দুর্ঘটনা ঘটিছে আমার লোকসভার বিরোধী দলের নেতা আজি সমগ্র করুছি অধীর রঞ্জন চৌধুরী को আমার লোকসভা নেতা মাননীয় অধীর রঞ্জন চৌধুরী को যে তাকে বক্তব্য
The entire nation has been witnessing the horrific, heartrending and agonizing episode of Balasore rail accident, which has already taken a toll of nearly 300 and more than 1,000 passengers are reported to have been injured. Some are gasping for their lives. Right in this situation, like the people of other parts of the country, are all parted over the fate of those passengers of fateful trains. I have been directed by my leadership to immediately rush to the site of accident in order to take stock of the situation, to be later communicated to our highest leaderships. Me, along with my esteemed colleague and AICC General Secretary Chella Kumarji, first visited the site of the horrible accident. Later on, visited a hospital, and thereafter to a place where corpses are lying down only to be decomposed. see the having observed the entire scenario, we can easily come to the conclusion that there is a serious mismanagement.
People, affected people who remain traumatized could be treated properly. Then a number of them could be survived. But here we have observed that everything was done. The first reaction of the state government, certainly they mobilized, they deployed their own police personnel or disaster response forces. There is no doubt of it. But it took excruciating more than 2 to 3 hours. So first, either may call error, fault or proactive measure. We have found little mismanagement, which otherwise would have saved a number of precious lives. After 2 to 3 hours, when the golden hours were elapsed, the administration swung into action. So everything, we know that if it is done at late, certainly will bear some unsavory consequences. Second, we have visited the hospital where mismanagement was quite palpable. Patients are not being treated properly because there is no health infrastructure worth this name existing in those hospitals where scores of injured persons are gasping for life. They need immediate, effective, efficacious medical intervention. But everywhere we have found a chaotic ambience. Most pathetic, inhuman. And disgusting situation we have also observed when we came to learn that corpses are lying down in a building. There also we have visited, and what we saw still haunting us. The gory scenario. Corpses are left to be decomposed. An obnoxious and foul smell are emitting from that area, which has entirely infected the precinct, and nobody will be able to stand over there because of the foul smell, poignant smell, emitting for that area. So even the facility that's not available over here to preserve the dead bodies, relatives of those deceased have been running from pillar to post to find out and to identify their dearest and nearest ones who have already been expired. And nobody was there to look after the poor plight of those people. Sometimes I think that in the wake of the previous accident, the apathy and indifference of the government has also been witnessed. Otherwise, can you imagine that in a civilized world, the corpses of the deceased are being allowed to be decomposed, to be petrified. Our society does allow it. So these are the horrible and obnoxious situation we have observed. Everywhere there is a serious mismanagement, virtually mismanagement has descended to its nadi. The capacity of the infrastructure is miserably failing to deal with this situation. So there is no proper management even to identify the disease. Even to identify the disease. You cannot imagine the situation of those relatives. See, in so far as other aspects of the accidents we have already narrated before you. Now, if any question is left, you may ask to me. But the issue is that post-Balasore railway fatal accident, we need to have an introspection into the safety and security of our railway services. We cannot pay drakes and ducks with the life of the common people. In spite of all skyrocketing promises, ground reality does not corroborate the high-sounding, high-falutin, rosy pictures being displayed in each and every occasion by the propaganda-savvy government. See, first of all, I am neither engineer nor a technocrat nor an expert. But the issue is very simple. How this railway accident took place. In the age of digitalization, in the age of technological upgradation, where plethora of committees have earlier been constituted, which offered hundreds of suggestions in order to secure safe journey of the common passenger. It has been failed. The issue is the government now has been focusing more on privatization of the railway sector, but rather than focusing on the safety measures of the railway itself. You know that the basic safety features of the railway service is being supervised, maintained by the lower ranks of the railway hierarchy. Track maintenance, signaling, track replacement, track renewal, etc. etc. That is why in a railway budget you will find a fund named after the nomenclature Depreciation Reserve Fund. What does it mean by DRA? Depreciation Reserve Fund means that you have to earmark a substantial amount of budget for the purpose of maintaining and restoring the track system of the railway services. But over the years, the DRA fund has been drastically cut, reduced, much to the concern of the railway passengers and which may affect the services of railways. Second, signal. See, after the railway accident, the general practice of the railway is that you have to constitute one joint committee involving operation, civil, signaling and other departments. The question is how a train which was supposed to be flying through main road diverted to loop line. What is the reason behind diverting the train from main line to loop line? That is a moot point. That is a question. What is the opinion of the joint committee? Why the railway official who are supposed to be in charge of passing the rail in this area who failed to notice it? In each and every kilometer you will find a signaling system. So it is an uphill and difficult but sensitive task of the loco pilot to run the rail on such a track while observing each and every signal. That is why during UPA regime we have devised anti-collision device. It was first installed in the Konkan Railway Corporation during UPA regime. We have never claimed that anti-collision device would act as a panacea of all railway ills. No. But anti-collision device was a pioneer project in order to avoid railway accident. But now, this government has been touting, has been tum-tumming that they have installed Kavach. That is also an anti-collision device to save the railway passengers from accident. But their claims have been shattered by this horrendous accident. That is why our suggestion is that instead of focusing on privatization of the railway, instead of focusing on carteling the budget of railway, government should focus on the basic infrastructure of the railway service. Because you know, each and every day, our railway infrastructure, our railway, Indian railways have been ferrying 25 lakhs of passengers per day. That means in a year, Indian railways have been ferrying the number of passengers more than the total population of the world. But government has been focusing on other arena, bullet train, Vande Bharat, etc., etc. How do you run the Vande Bharat on the same track? Because there is a huge congestion in our present railway network. First of all, you have to expand your network. You have to expand your signaling system, your safety mechanism. Only then can you think of running Vande Bharat. It is easy. It is easy to make promises, but it is difficult to turn it into practices. On the one hand, you are neglecting the railway services by carteling the requisite fund. And on the other hand, you are pleading for the privatization of the railway itself. See, we are a country where more than 80% of people do not cater their regular foods and other necessary items. Then you cannot expect that you may be a competitor of USA or UK or any other country. Yes, Australian Prime Minister can say you that you are the boss of us. You can boast of it. But you should try to be the boss of the common people, not the boss of the Australian Prime Minister. You should focus yourself on the daily necessities of the common people. Railway cannot be treated itself as a commercial organization only to earn profit. Rather, railway always render its services as a commitment to the people. Yes, railway is a service not only for commercial purposes but also to serve the society. Railway always maintain its social commitment to the society, because Indian people cannot afford the expenditure of the private railway journey That is why, since the day one, we have been pleading to the government that under no circumstances you should not curtail the fund which may affect the safety and security of the passenger of our country. The reason quite simple, that every day 25 lakhs of passengers are being ferried by our Indian railway services. Second thing, those who are deployed in the railway ecosystem to maintain track, signal, replacement, etc., etc. You know that 1,42,000 posts have been laid vacant, which needs to be filled immediately because they are the first pillar to ensure the safety and security of the passenger. They are the frontier army people. Just like our border, when we are facing the aggression of China and Pakistan, they are the foot soldier of the railway ecosystem, where you are going to outsource the requisite strength, the requisite person on the pretext of outsourcing, on the pretext of carteling the railway expenditure. But those vital posts, 1,42,000, have been laid vacant for years together, which certainly affecting the safety and security mechanism of our railway system. Certainly, it is a matter of great concern. Government is simply indifferent to this issue. रेलवे मिनिस्टर की इस्तीफा मांगने से तो सारे समस्या के हाल नहीं निकलेगा। अगर रेलवे मिनिस्टर की खुद अपने मान सम्मान मर्यादा की पालन करना है तो क्या करना चाहिए, इसका मिसाल उनके पहले बहुत सारे रेलवे मिनिस्टर हिंदुस्तान में थे, वो लोग दिखा दिए। कभी नीतीश कुमार, कभी लाल बहादुर दिखा दिए। तो क्या करना चाहिए भाई, ज्ञानी व्यक्ति को बोलना नहीं चाहते, लेकिन हम सब जानते हैं कि हमारे ज्ञानी काबिल आदमी जो उड़ीसा कभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर बने हुए रहते थे, यहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा ऑफिसर थे, तो मोदी जी की लंगूठा बन गए थे। वो मोदी जी की लंगूठा बन गए, कुछ कहने की इनका हिम्मत नहीं है। एक रेल मिनिस्टर होते हुए भी एक ट्रेन उद्घाटन करने की इजाजत नहीं है उन्हें। कब मोदी की इजाजत मिलेगी? पहले मोदी को ग्रीन सिग्नल चाहिए, उसके बाद रेलवे की ग्रीन सिग्नल मिलते हैं। और शुरू से शेष हमारे रेल मंत्री जी को रेड सिग्नल मिलते हैं। तो रेल मंत्री जी को मिले रेड सिग्नल, ट्रेन चलाने और ट्रेन चलने में मिले ग्रीन सिग्नल, तो कौन कहां जाएगा? अब खुद बताइए। हिंदुस्तान में ऐसा कोई प्राइम मिनिस्टर में कभी देखे होंगे कि जहां से ट्रेन गुजरते हैं, नया ट्रेन चलाने की इरादा होते हैं रेलवे की, तो तुरंत एक हरा झंडा लेके हमारे पीएम साहब पहुंच जाते, मोदी मोदी नारा लग जाते, मोदी जी की गुणगान करते रहते, और मोदी जी के नारा के चलते हमारे हिंदुस्तानी को कान में ताला भी लग जाते। अरे ये कोई तरीका है? जब हजारों की तादाद में लोगों को ये मौत की सामना करने पड़ते, तो हमारे देश के प्राइम मिनिस्टर आते चुस्त दुरुस्त होकर, और उनके साथ जो उनके लोग आते हैं, जो चमचो लोग आते हैं, वो मोदी मोदी नारा लगाते। ये कोई मजाक है? ये कोई तरीका है हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर की तहजीब की? आप लोग ये तहजीब को स्वीकार करते हैं? ये लगता है मृतकों के शरीर पर ये इधर फेंकने के लिए आते हैं, इधर छिड़कने के लिए आते हैं। सिंपली they are spraying fragments on the dead bodies. Yes, simply spraying fragments, perfume on the dead bodies. ये और कुछ नहीं, मृतक के शरीर पर इधर छिड़कने के लिए इस तरीके के काम किया जाता है। भाई पूरे निंदा करते हैं मोदी जी ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं कि उनकी नारा दूसरे से लगाने से उनके पे हानि होगी। इतना नारा लगाते हुए भी आप लोग की खुशी नहीं होती। मोदी जी आपकी नारा सुनते सुनते थक गए होंगे और नारा लगाने में क्या फायदा होंगे। लोगों को जिंदगी को लेकर खिलवाड़ मत किया करो। लोगों को जिंदगी को लेकर खिलवाड़ मत किया करो। बीजेपी वालों ने मैं बड़ी कड़ी भाषा से निंदा करते हैं। जब ये हादसा होते हैं, ये हादसा देखने कोई टूरिज्म नहीं है, हादसा देखना कोई मजाक उड़ाना नहीं है, हादसा देखने कोई नारा लगाने की जगह नहीं है, हादसा देखने के समय कोई नौटंकी बर्दाश्त नहीं किया जाते हैं। तो इसलिए इस तरीके की बर्ताव ना करे तो बेहतर है। सेफ्टी का अगर खिलवाड़ नहीं होते तो इस तरह की हादसा क्यों
चौधरी साहब
क्यों इस तरह के हादसा होता है? क्यों इस तरह ये रेल अभी कह पाए कि क्यों जिस स्टेट को ठीक से सुन लिया करो, जिस स्टेट को मेन रूट में जाना चाहिए था, जिस स्टेट को मेन रूट में जाना तय था, वो क्यों लूप लाइन में चले गए? क्यों? ये सब जानकारी रेलवे ऑफिसर की है, लेकिन वो अभी इधर उधर करके ये सारे चीजों को अनदेखी करने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो हमारी सवाल ये है रेल मंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री सबसे इधर उधर की बात बंद कर। मेरा सवाल सबसे है और सारा सबको है, चाहे वो रेल मंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री, इधर उधर की बात मत कर। बता काफिला कैसे लूटा।
ଏହି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମରେ ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ବିଧାୟକ ତାରା ପ୍ରସାଦ ବାହିନୀପତି, ନବଜ୍ୟୋତି ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକ, ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଜିଲ୍ଲା ସଭାପତି ସଞ୍ଜୀବ ଗିରି, କଟକ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ସଭାପତି ମାନସ ଚୌଧୁରୀ, ଛାତ୍ର କଂଗ୍ରେସ ସଭାପତି ୟାସିର ନୱାଜ, ଅନୁଲେଖା ବୋଷ, ଲଲାଟେନ୍ଦୁ ମହାପାତ୍ର, ସତ୍ୟଶିବ ଦାସ, ବିଜନ ନାୟକ, ସୁଦର୍ଶନ ଦାସ, ଅର୍ଚ୍ଚନା ନନ୍ଦୀ, ଭଦ୍ରକ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ସଭାପତି ସୁବ୍ରତ ଦାସ, ନଳିନୀ ନାୟକ, ପ୍ରକାଶ ମିଶ୍ର, ଦୀପକ ମହାପାତ୍ର, ରଞ୍ଜିତ ପାତ୍ର, ଦେବାଶିଷ ଭୂୟାଁ, ଗୌତମ ସାହୁ ଏବଂ ସାହିଲ ଖାଦିର ପ୍ରମୁଖ ବହୁ କଂଗ୍ରେସ ନେତା ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଥିଲେ।